The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. In the modest home of the Great Gildersleeve, there occurs a phenomenon peculiar to male youth. It is marked by the gentle pattering of feet. A small voice at the kitchen door. And a delicate hint of his wishes.
Hurry! Breakfast! I'm bringing it, Leroy. I'm bringing it. Goodness gracious, what's all the hurry?
It's Saturday.
Confound it, Leroy. Why can't you get up like this other mornings?
Oh, hi, Unc. There's nothing to do other mornings, except school.
Well, there's something to do this morning. Leaves.
Leaves? Oh, for corn's sake, Unc, do I have to rake dirty old leaves?
Leaves are nature's own handiwork, my boy. They're beautiful. And, Leroy.
Yes?
When you finish raking them, be sure you burn the darn things. Oh, good morning, Bertie.
Morning, Mr. Gildersleeve. I had to walk clear out to the curb for the morning paper again.
Oh, that's too bad, Bertie. Yeah, these confounded paper boys can't see beyond the end of their handlebars. Where is the paper?
Under your elbow.
Oh, yes. Bertie, I think I'll have some scrambled eggs and ham with a side order of scrambled eggs and bacon.
Coming up, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Let's have the comics, Unc.
Leroy.
Oh, please.
Comics. You should read a paper by looking at page 1 first. The big news.
Okay, let's see page 1. Please.
I'm reading it. Here's the comic page. Well, let's see what's happening in the outside world.
Me and Piggy were going
Piggy and I, Leroy.
Us guys were going to play football this morning.
Later, Leroy. First things first, my boy.
Oh, for corn's sake.
Let's see here. Man bites wife's dog in fit of jealous rage. Apologizes. Wonder who he apologized to.
Piggy's got a brand new football, Unc, and all the guys are going to play this morning.
Leroy, you know you have your duties around the house. You can play this afternoon.
But by this afternoon, the ball will be all dirty.
Leroy, if you'll be quiet a minute, I can get the paper read.
All right.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I think you ought to call the paper and complain about that boy throwing our paper in the gutter.
All right, Bertie.
I called them 3 times, but they don't pay no attention. I think you ought to call them, Mr. Gildersleeve.
All right, Bertie, I will.
I think you ought to call them, you being water commissioner and all. They keep hiding it in the gutter. How can anybody read the paper?
Yes, Bertie, how can anybody read the paper? Now, what about my breakfast?
Coming up, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm not the one to be complaining, but the only way you can get breakfast.
Now, maybe a man can read the paper in his own home. Water commissioner faces possible jail sentence. Poor fellow Water commissioner?
Unc, all the fellas are going to be playing football this morning.
Oh, Springfield water commissioner. I didn't think it was me. Emerson Brunker, Springfield water commissioner, today faced a possible fine of $10,000 or 10 years imprisonment, or both. Both. For malfeasance in office.
I could rake the leaves this afternoon, Unc.
Yeah, all right, Leroy. An audit disclosed a shortage in Brunker's department of $5.52. Probably betting on the races.
Or tomorrow, maybe, huh, Unc?
Yes, Leroy. Brunker said...
Gee, thanks, Unc. You're super.
Oh, Leroy! Confound that boy. That was deliberate malfeasance. I'll have to ask Hooker what malfeasance means.
Good morning, Uncle Mort.
Well, good morning, Marjorie. Sit down and have some breakfast, my dear. Did you sleep well?
Just fine, Unky.
You want some orange juice, Miss Marjorie?
Oh, if you please, Bertie. What's in the paper this morning, Unky?
Same old thing. Trouble. Springfield water commissioner is about to get the works. That wasn't intentional, my dear. It just came to me.
That I believe.
Yes. Well, this Brunker, he's the commissioner in Springfield. Accounts were short $5.52. Obviously, the man is incompetent. I'm just about to read his statement here. Let's see.
Oh, Aki, hold the paper up a little more, will you?
Hold the paper up? What?
A darling play suit Hogan Brothers are advertising.
By George, I'm going to work where I can read this paper in peace. And besides, you're too big a girl to be wearing a play suit. Yes. Want to go along?
Would you mind off?
Oh, I'd love it.
I simply must get to town today and pay my water bill. That nasty old commissioner might have my water turned off.
That nasty old commissioner's a regular ogre. He gobbles up little girls.
I know it, especially one from Savannah, Georgia.
Well, we can't go any place sitting here, can we? Oh, and did you say you wanted to pay your water bill, Leila?
Mm-hmm. Isn't it simply terrible that I have to go all the way to town just for that?
The Summerfield Water Department has just this very day inaugurated a new service.
It has?
Certainly has. We now collect payments in the water commissioner's car.
Wow.
But only from our favorite customer.
Oh, Throckmorton, you're sweet.
Am I, Leila?
You certainly are. Here, now, I have the bill and the money in this envelope, and I'll put it in the breast pocket of your coat.
Oh, it tickles.
There. Now, do you know where it is?
Sure, it's in my breast pocket.
Throckmorton.
What's the matter?
It's right over your heart.
Oh.
Now, you won't forget, will you, Throckmorton?
Forget? They don't call me Elephant Boy for nothing, you know.
Well, yes, but I thought that was because you're so fat. Oh.
Well, thank you, Leila. I'll attend to your account the first thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Throckmorton. I don't know whatever made me say that.
Quite all right, Leila. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll...
Don't be mad at me, Throckmorton.
Let's forget it, Leila.
Let's. Throckmorton, I wanted you to come to a little tea party this afternoon.
I just happened to be stopped, that's all.
Oh, now let's not talk about it anymore.
All right.
I hope you won't be busy this afternoon.
You know, some men are born with 4 thumbs.
Throckmorton, I like stout men. Really, I do. Especially handsome ones.
Yeah. What time is your tea party, Leila?
Oh, any time. I thought it would be nice if I started having afternoon teas. Just intimate little affairs.
Sounds like a great idea. Great.
I thought we'd sit around and drink tea and I'd bake cookies. Would you like that, Throckmorton?
I like anything you do with those dainty white hands, especially cookies.
And afterwards we could sort of rest on the sofa and discuss things.
Sounds cozy.
Just you and the judge and I.
Judge Hooker? What's he doing at our party?
I invited him. Oh, why, Throckmorton, Horace is your best friend.
But...
And besides, he said he can't stay long.
Oh, well, in that case...
Then I'll expect you the minute you get through work.
I might even fudge a little.
Oh, I hope so. Well, Throckmorton, hadn't we better be on our way?
On our way?
Well, if I'm going to bake cookies, I have to hurry to town and pay my water bill.
Well, I thought I was going to do that for you.
Oh, Throckmorton, whatever makes me so giddy?
I'd like to think it was me.
Maybe it is. Oh, you have such a fine brain, Throckmorton. You never forget a thing, do you?
Forget? They don't call me Elephant. I never forget.
Oh, you.
Well, for once there's a place to park right in front. Darn smart aleck kids these days.
Beat you to it that time, Gildy.
Hooker, you old goat! Well, here's another space. You old goat, what's the idea of taking my parking place?
I don't see your name on it any place. First come, first parked.
Someday, Horace, you'll go too far.
That reminds me, I have to go now. See you at Leila's.
Just a minute, Horace, old friend.
Old friend?
What do you say we ditch that tea party?
What?
Well, you know how these affairs are. A lot of idle chit-chat that doesn't mean a thing.
Well, I'm not too fond of tea parties, but I promise Leila.
Oh, come on, Horace. I'll make some excuse to Leila for both of us.
I don't know. What do you propose in the way of a substitute?
Well, why don't we, just the two of us, go up to Grass Lake and get in a little fishing? Season closes next Wednesday, you know.
I don't know, Gildy.
Come on, Horace. Just think, we could wear our old clothes. You wouldn't even have to change.
You would, or you'd scare the fish all away.
Very good, Horace, very good. What do you say? Let's rent a boat and just drift while we strengthen our friendship with real man talk.
Man talk? What's that?
Man to man. Ye gods, Horace. Haven't you ever talked man to man? Or is it always judge to victim?
What, for instance, would you call man talk? Just what would we talk about?
Anything. Politics, love, murder, anything you like.
Come to think of it, Gildy, I would like to get your reaction to that story about the Springfield Water Commissioner getting into trouble. As your friend and attorney, I'd like to know, is there any danger of an incident like that here in Summerfield?
Certainly not.
Well, you know what happened, don't you?
Of course I do. What?
Why, according to the statement he gave the police, he was so far behind in his collections, he had to juggle the books. And that's how they trapped him. How are your collections, Throckmorton?
Never better. I keep my department in apple pie order at all times. Well, there may be one or two delinquent accounts.
Well, look what happened to Brunker. You'd better watch those delinquent accounts, Gildy. Turn off their water once, just once, and I guarantee they'll pay up on time thereafter.
But, Judge, you can't go around turning off people's water. What if they get thirsty?
Go down to the drugstore and buy a Coke.
How would they wash dishes?
Go down to the drugstore and buy paper plates.
How would they take baths?
Well, they can. Great Caesar's little fishes, Gildersleeve. You're the water commissioner, not the guardian of the public's ablutions. You have a responsibility to the state, to the people as a whole. When the time comes to be tough, you've got to be tough.
It's no use, Horace. I'm not tough. I'm just lovable.
No, that's the trouble.
Don't worry about the water department, Horace. How about it now? We going fishing this afternoon?
Well, sounds like it might be fun.
Great. I'll meet you at the boathouse. I've got several things to attend to, so if I'm a little late, you row on out and fish till I get there.
Well, all right. See you later, Gildy.
What a sucker.
By the way, old man, if I'm a little late, you fish till I get there. Huh?
And we'll find out whether Hooker swallowed Gildersleeve's bait in just a minute.
Mr. Lang, I heard you say last week that there still isn't enough parquet margarine to go around. But just yesterday, several of my friends bought parquet, and I was lucky enough to get a package, too.
I can see where there's going to be a good eating at your house this week. Mm-hmm. Delicious, flavor-fresh parquet margarine for spreading on hot breakfast toast, or golden brown pancakes, or melting into muffins for a real flavor treat at dinner.
Oh, I should say so. My family's delighted. But I wanted to ask, Mr. Lang, are we soon going to get all the parquet we want?
I wish I could say yes. And, of course, you will get some from time to time because we're distributing parquet margarine as fairly as we can to food dealers. However, even though Kraft continues to make all the parquet possible, there still isn't enough to meet the big demand. Spreads for bread of all kinds are among the scarcest foods in America, in the whole world for that matter. Just remember, there are millions who prefer parquet. And though it's scarce, always look first for Parkay, Parquet margarine, at your food store. And now back to the great Gildersleeve, who at long last is arriving at his office.
Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work we go. Da-da-dee-dee. Good morning, Bessie. How's everything? Bessie? Bessie, where are you? Confound that Bessie. I'm going to have to get rid of her. She's out of the office so much I'd get lonesome if I was here very often myself. Let's see what's to be done today. Have to get a new chair one of these days. Letters to be signed. More work to this job than most people think. Kind of fun signing letters, though. Wonder what Bessie has on my mind today. Dear sir, this is to inform you your water account is 7 months past due. 7 months? Ye gods, what does he think we're running here? A public drinking fountain? Don't tell me all these letters are delinquent notices. 6 months, 8 months, 3 months. Well, that's better. 8 months, 12 months. That's almost a whole year. By George, it is a whole year. Confounded people, why don't they pay their bills? Certainly hate to turn off their water. Gildersleeve, are you a man or a mouse? What's that got to do with it? You've got to be tough about these things, Gildy. You have a responsibility to the state, to the people as a whole. You're derelict in your duty. Imagine me, a derelict. I am not. You are so. I am not. You are. Arguing with myself. But I'm right. It's like I told Hooker. When the time comes to be tough, you got to be tough. The old goat. Yeah. Where's that waterworks number?
Charlie Anderson, this end.
Charlie? This is the commissioner. What do you think we should do about people who don't pay their water bills?
Oh, that's your business, Commissioner. My job's to see the mechanical equipment keeps going 10 years longer than it should.
Confound it. Can't you express an opinion?
What's the matter, Commissioner? Job too big for you?
No, the job isn't too big for me.
Then why call me to make your decisions?
I'm not calling you to make my decisions. I've already made one. I want you to turn off everybody's water who haven't paid their bills for 3 months.
3 months?
Yes. I'll have Bessie make a list. You can pick it up in an hour and start right away.
This afternoon? Okay,
Right.
Commissioner. Oh, by the way, tell Bessie not to put my name on that list. I'll bring the money when I get it.
Charlie, what do you do with all your money?
All my money? Listen, you fat tightwad, with my salary...
Confound it, Charlie. Can't you show a little respect? After all, I am head of the water department.
Okay, Waterhead.
Oh! And don't call me Waterhead. Water Commissioner.
Yeah, Water Commissioner.
That's better. Bessie? Is that you?
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Come in here, Bessie. Confound it. We're running an office here.
Did you want something, Mr. Gildersleeve?
You can't just go wandering off whenever you feel like it, Bessie. By George, your place is here. How are we ever going to get the work caught up if we keep dashing off?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm going to be gone for the rest of the day. Let's see. Seems like there was something I was supposed to remember. Pay the gas bill? No, I haven't got my third notice yet. Oh, yes. Bessie, Charlie Anderson will be by in an hour to pick up a list of accounts delinquent more than 3 months. Yes, sir. I knew I'd remember it.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
Peavy, give me about a half a dozen cigars.
Yeah, just help yourself, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thanks. Peavy,
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve?
what would you do if you paid your water bill, Peavy?
Well, now, Mr. Gildersleeve, I have till the 10th of the month. I hardly think it's necessary to start dunning me so soon. That'll be 93 cents.
No. What I meant was, you aren't delinquent, are you?
If you mean by delinquent, have I ever been in trouble with the police? The answer is no. That is, nothing serious.
Confound it, Peavy. I don't care if you have a private cell at Joliet. I'm talking about your water bill.
I'm just having my little joke, Mr. Gildersleeve. Has there been a mistake in my statement?
Mistake? How should I know?
Well, you're the water commissioner, and I thought...
Stop thinking. I want to ask your advice on something.
Oh, I'm always glad to give advice, Mr. Gildersleeve, even if there's no profit in it. The cigars were 93 cents, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Look, Peavy, I did a pretty drastic thing this morning. Too darn many people have been playing on my generous nature. They've let their water bills go as long as 12 months. So I'm having their water turned off.
You don't say.
Yeah. What would you do if you were water commissioner?
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, I think the first thing I'd do is sell this drugstore.
Look, Peavy, forget the drugstore.
My, what a pleasant thought. And you know, if I could get elected water commissioner...
Peavy, just forget the whole thing.
Well, I thought you wanted some advice.
No, you're too late. I've already acted.
Well, I didn't mean to make you mad, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'm not mad. If anything, I feel gay. You see, Peavy, I'm expected by a certain party at a certain time.
That's so.
Mm-hmm. At a certain place. And if things go right, there'll be just the two of us there.
That's so.
Yeah. Well, aren't you curious?
Curious?
Yes, I mean, isn't there any question you'd like to ask?
Well, yes, there is. About how many families would you say will be affected by your cutoff order?
About 40 families, Peavy. Why?
Well, I wanted to get a line on how much extra soda water to order.
You don't miss a trick, do you, Peavy?
Can't afford to, Mr. Gildersleeve. As I was remarking to Judge Hooker just a few minutes ago before you come in...
Was he in here?
Yes, he was. He wanted to buy some oil of citronella.
Uh-huh. The judge always takes citronella on a fishing trip. He draws flies, you know. Well, I have to dash off.
That was 90 cents for the cigars and 3 cents for the governor, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh? Put it on my bill, Peavy. I've got till the 10th of the month, too. Well, here we are. Have Leila all to myself today. Should I ring or should I just knock intimately? I'll do both. Open up, Leila. Throckmorton is here. Hello, Angel.
Hello, sugar pie.
Hooker, you old goat, what are you doing here? I thought you went fishing.
I did, and I caught something, too, you big fish.
Why, you scheming, conniving, double...
Well, just wait until I tell Leila how you tried to persuade me to go fishing with you. Maybe you can try a little of your man talk on her.
Hooker, if you say anything, I'll break your... Hello, Leila.
What are you two boys arguing about?
Well, this morning, Gildy and I had a little man talk. He suggested...
Yes, man talk. You wouldn't understand.
Well, I'd like to know why not. I declare, Throckmorton, you're getting more and more like my late husband, Beauregard.
Wonder if that's a compliment.
He was always keeping little secrets from me, though I'm sure it didn't bother me in the least. Merely annoyed me.
Well, this matter is no secret, Leila. As I was saying...
Shall we go in and make ourselves comfortable? Dibs on the easy chair.
I'll sit here on the sofa.
I'll sit on the sofa, too.
Oh, this easy chair is comfortable. You want to try it, Horace?
No, thank you. Now, as I was saying, Leila, Gildy suggested...
Did you make the cookies, Leila?
I promised, didn't I?
Now, as I was saying...
Horace, you tell Throckmorton about it while I get the cookies. And I'll get the tea ready while you boys pass the time of day.
All right, Leila, we'll just chat a while. You old goat.
You four-flusher.
You old goat.
Just wait until I tell Leila what...
Here she comes now. No, Horace, I don't think it's going to rain.
Throckmorton.
Yes, Leila? Are the cookies ready?
Yes, Throckmorton.
That's nice. And the tea?
There isn't going to be any tea.
Oh, forget to buy some? Well, never mind. Horace can run down to the grocery store.
Mr. Gildersleeve, my water has been turned off.
It'll only take a half. What did you say, Leila?
I said my water has been turned off, Commissioner. Really, Horace, I don't see anything funny about it.
Horace told me to turn it off, Leila.
Well, Judge Hooker, I just wish some of my male relatives were here.
Now, wait a minute, Leila. I did nothing of the kind. I merely advised the commissioner here to turn off the delinquent subscribers. I had no idea you were one of them.
I'll have you know that I'm not. I gave Throckmorton the money this morning. Mr. Gildersleeve. Did you pay my water bill this morning? Throckmorton, answer me.
Water bill?
Throckmorton, what do I see in your breast pocket?
Looks like an envelope.
Snitch.
It is an envelope, the one I gave you this morning. This is all your carelessness, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Why don't we all go over to my house and have tea over there?
Well, Horace might like to, but I...
You may count me out, Gildy. I just remembered a previous engagement. to go fishing.
Well, if Horace is going fishing, yes, I'll come over.
Well, you get the cookies spread out, Leila, while I make the tea.
All right, Throckmorton.
That's it. Now for some water. Oh, my goodness. Leila, I'm afraid I've got you over here under false pretenses.
Aren't you sweet?
We'll hear from the great Gildersleeve again very shortly. During this time when all spreads for bread are scarce, it's only natural that you should want the finest. That's true of Parquet margarine, all right, because millions of homemakers keep looking for and demanding this quality spread that sells at such a reasonable price. Kraft is making all the Parquet margarine possible under present conditions, but we know there's not nearly enough to meet the demand. From time to time, you will be able to get Parquet from your food dealer. He's getting a fair share of all the Parquet margarine Kraft is making. And when you do buy Parquet, you'll find it's the same fine quality as always. Fresh and delicately sweet in flavor, rich in food energy, and with 15,000 units of vitamin A in every pound. So look first for Parquet when you shop. That's Parkay. Parquet margarine made by Kraft.
And say what I'm longing to hear.
Oh, you're wonderful.
Well, tender words of love, repeat them again, I implore you.
Oh, Throckmorton, you're positively handsome when you stand like that, with your mouth open and the words pouring out.
You're lovely, too, Leila. Let's go sit on the sofa.
Hey, Uncle Mort, how can I take a bath? There's no water.
Oh, Leroy, go to bed. He'll be asleep in a few minutes, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. This week's story was written by Frank Moore and Bill Kelsey. The cast includes Walter Tetley and Lillian Randolph, who play Leroy and Bertie. Leila Ransom is Shirley Mitchell, Judge Hooker is Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand plays Mr. Peavy. The music is by Jack Meakin. This is John Lang speaking for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to be with us again next Wednesday, same time and station, for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Ladies, here's how to make leftovers not seem like leftovers at all. It's easy with Pabst-ett, the delicious cheddar cheese food. First, make a luscious golden cheese sauce with Pabst-ett and a little milk. Then pour this appetizing cheese sauce over leftovers of meat, fish, vegetables, or rice, and you've a brand new delicious main dish treat. Remember, nourishing Pabst-ett comes in 2 tempting varieties: pimento Pabst-ett in the red package and golden cheddar Pabst-ett in the familiar round yellow package. Get Pabst-ett when you shop tomorrow.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve.
Yeah.
It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet Margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. Now let's join The Great Gildersleeve. After a day at the office, or almost a day, he has dropped into Peavy's pharmacy, where we find him concluding a small transaction.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Call again.
Maybe I will, Peavy. Don't take any wooden nickels. Hey, what's this? Looks cute.
That, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, men's perfume, eh?
Well, it isn't exactly perfume. I believe it's called a grooming essential.
It's a perfume, no matter what they call it. I'm surprised to find you displaying it.
Well, I was forced to put it in, Mr. Gildersleeve. The young fellows want it. They say women find it attractive.
You don't believe that, do you?
I don't know. These young fellows seem to use up a lot of it, and they keep coming back for more.
Oh, but this notion about women...
Well, I only know what they tell me, Mr. Gildersleeve. I've never tried it myself.
I'm glad to hear it. If a man can't attract women without dousing himself with some kind of stinkum, he shouldn't admit it. What's it smell like?
Yeah. It's inoffensive. It's supposed to smell like pine needles. Here, I'll open one of these, and you can have a sniff.
Don't bother. Pretty fancy bottle.
Yeah, make a nice table ornament after it's empty. I can't seem to get the top off of the darn
Let me
thing.
do it.
No, I've got it. If I could just...
Oh, Peavy!
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm terribly sorry.
All over my vest. I'll smell for days.
Oh, no. It wears off in a few hours.
Well, an ordinary dose might. You spilled half the bottle on me.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's not a bad smell.
Mr. Gildersleeve, would you be interested in buying the rest of the bottle?
Doesn't smell as good as all that, Peavy.
Well, I can price it quite attractively.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, you've got about $2 worth on you already.
What?
Yes, it's a $5 item. But I'll let you have the rest of it for $2.50. Nice ornament.
I don't need any ornaments. I don't believe it's going to excite any women either.
Well, have it your own way. All I know is a lot of young women buy it for their husbands.
They do?
Yeah. Let you have it for $2.
Well, all right. But wrap it up, Peavy, and get this through your head. I'm not buying this because I need it.
You don't have to tell me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, it's me, Leroy.
Hey, a package. What's in it?
Nothing for you, my boy. It's, shaving lotion.
Oh. Phew, is that what I smell? Must be powerful stuff.
I accidentally spilled some on my vest. Doing your homework?
Yeah.
Possibly you could concentrate better if the evening paper wasn't so near you. May I have it?
Sure, I finished it.
Yeah, so I see. Hi, George. I don't know why I read the evening paper. Same stuff I read this morning. Now I think of it, the morning paper had the same stuff I read last night. Nothing happening, I guess.
Good evening, Unky. Leroy, have you seen my notebook?
Oh, good evening, my dear.
Unky, what have you got on you? You smell simply delicious.
You think so? Peavy sold me some stuff.
What's the name of it? You smell just like Wallace Weber. He was 2 seats away from me in history this morning. It was heavenly.
Well, I believe it's called spruce. Spruce up with spruce or something like that.
Gosh, is that spruce? Women are supposed to faint when they smell it.
How do you know, Leroy?
I read an ad in Esquire.
Leroy? I forbid you to read Esquire till you're 21. Is that clear?
Oh, for corn's sake.
Did Leroy give you the message from Miss Goodwin, Unky?
He did not. Confound it, Leroy. What's the matter with you? What was the message?
She wants you to sing at a PTA meeting tonight.
Oh, we should both forgotten it.
Oh, I thought you liked to sing in public.
Not particularly, my dear. And anyway, there's something about those parent-teacher meetings.
Between the singing and the perfume, you'd have the ladies swooning.
Yeah. Oh, Miss
Mr. Gildersleeve!
That will do, Leroy.
Well, anyway, I told Miss Goodwin I'd give you the message.
All right, my dear, you've given it. I will not sing at any PTA meeting tonight.
Okay. Leroy, have you seen my notebook?
What notebook?
The new one. The one with... Oh, there it is. Leroy, have you been using it?
Why would I want to use your lousy notebook? Gosh, I think everything you own is so wonderful.
Well, you leave my things alone in the future, and if you... Leroy! Uncle Mort, look! All over the first page of it.
Now, what's he done?
I was just practicing my signature.
Leroy Forrester, Leroy J. Forrester, Leroy P. Forrester.
You have no middle name, Leroy. What is this?
It looks better with something in there.
Oh, dear. If you wish to practice your signature, Leroy, or any signature, kindly do not do so in your sister's notebook. Just tear the page out, my dear. It's no tragedy.
Not to you, maybe.
Doorbell.
Will you answer it, please, Marjorie?
I'll get it.
Bertie's getting it.
Everyone heard her, Leroy.
Good evening, Miss Goodwin.
Good evening, Bertie. Is Mr. Gildersleeve at home? I'd just like to see him for a minute, if it's convenient.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be convenient, Miss Goodwin. Come right in.
Oh, well, Leroy, take your homework upstairs, please. You too, Marjorie. Well, Eve, what a delightful surprise.
I'm sorry to bother you.
She just wants to see you for a minute, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie. Thank you.
Hi, Miss Goodwin.
Hello, Leroy. Marjorie.
Hello. We're just leaving. I gave Uncle Mort the message about the PTA.
Oh, thank you. I do hope you can come, Throckmorton.
Run along, Leroy.
I'm going.
Sit down, Eve. Make yourself at home.
No, I can only stay a minute, as Bertie promised. Have you been to the barber's today?
No, why?
Oh, I thought you must have had something put on your hair. It smells quite nice.
Oh, that. I spilled it on my vest. If you like it, I'll get some more.
You shouldn't unless you like it yourself.
Well, it's masculine.
That's appropriate.
I haven't seen you in quite a while, Eve. Where have you been keeping yourself?
Oh, I'm still living in the same place. You haven't been around to call on me.
Well, what about tonight? Can't we duck this PTA meeting?
I wish we could.
We could go for a drive somewhere. It's not too cold out. Or we could just sit around and have a little conversation. I'd like to know what you think about the new books and politics and everything.
I'd like to encourage your intellectual interest, but I've got to go to this meeting. And I hate to ask you to help me, but I'm desperate.
Well, why should it be your problem?
It's my job. Please, Throckmorton, be nice. If you'll just come around for half an hour and sing a few little things. The ladies are crazy about you. For me?
All right, Eve. For you.
Oh, you're a darling. 8 o'clock in the high school auditorium.
All right. Wait a minute, Eve. This thing doesn't have to last very long, does it?
Well, it should be over by 10. Why?
Well, how would it be if I took you home after?
Well,
Just for some conversation about books.
Well, for a little while. And thank you, Throckmorton.
You change your clothes, Unky. Going out?
Yes, after supper.
Gonna sing for the PTA, Unc?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, Leroy. Miss Goodwin has asked me as an old friend to help her out of a difficult situation. I'm considering it.
Doorbell. I'll get it. Bertie's getting it.
Leroy, you're developing an extremely tedious habit of proclaiming the obvious. Try to curb it.
Okay.
Good evening, Bertie. Is Mr. Gildersleeve at home?
Yes, he is, Miss Ransom.
Well, I know it's almost his supper time, but if I could just see him for a minute.
Come right in, ma'am. What's fair for one is fair for all.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Miss Ransom wants to see you a minute, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, thank you, Bertie. Hello, Leila.
Hello, Throckmorton. Good evening, Marjorie.
Hello, Mrs. Ransom.
Throckmorton.
Hi, Mrs. Ransom.
Oh, hello, Leroy. I didn't see you there. My, but you're growing. Throckmorton, I just wondered if you were doing anything important this evening. Are you?
I'm afraid I am, Leila. I've agreed to appear at a meeting of the Parent Teachers Association.
Throckmorton, you've got to get out of it. I simply must see you this evening.
But, Leila, I've made a commitment. They have to have a speaker.
Oh, pooh. They can find a million speakers. You don't want to sit around with a lot of mothers and talk about progressive education.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about progressive education. I was,
I was feeling sentimental. I thought we could have such a lovely evening together.
Leila, I promised.
I have a special reason for asking.
Well, Leila, Leroy, go upstairs. Or out in the kitchen or someplace. I won't have you staring at me.
Gosh, what did I do?
You too, Marjorie.
Okay.
Please, Throckmorton, for Leila. Oh, you can get Horace Hooker to go to the PTA meeting instead.
Hooker? By George, I might at that. What time is it?
About 6:15.
I wonder if he's still down at the office.
Oh, Horace loves to do things like that. Will you come over early, Throckmorton?
Right after supper. That is, if I can
I'll
find
be
Hooker.
expecting you. Don't disappoint me now, you hear?
But, Leila, what if I can't...
I'm counting on you, Throckmorton.
What do you know? Eve, Leila. Never rains, but it pours. Say, I wonder if that stuff Peavy sold me... now.
We'll hear from the great Gildersleeve again in just a minute. In these days, when spreads for bread are not so abundant, you've probably had to do without your favorite brand now and then.
But I'm still as choosy as ever, Mr. Lang. I always ask for parquet margarine. It's been our favorite for years.
It's a favorite spread in millions of homes. First of all, because people know that any product made by the Kraft Foods Company is sure to be of highest quality. And once you've tried parquet margarine, you just naturally prefer its fresh, country-sweet flavor. Prefer it because it tastes so good on rolls, toast, pancakes, and waffles.
That's why I always ask first for parquet margarine at my food dealers.
And likely as not, he'll have it for you from time to time, because Kraft is continuing to make all the parquet margarine possible with present supplies. Your food dealer is doing his best to supply you with this spread that's so rich in food energy, so country-sweet in flavor, and so economical, too. I suggest that you always look first for delicious, nourishing parquet. Parkay. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now, back to our story. Having called Judge Hooker's house, Gildersleeve has learned that the judge is working late at his office. Let's watch Gildersleeve's maneuvers now as he enters the city hall, tiptoes down the corridor chambers, and finding the door ajar, wanders into the judge's chambers. The judge is absorbed in a document. Gildersleeve helps himself to a chair.
Horace?
Yes, Gildy?
Hello.
Hello.
What you doing?
Reading a brief.
Oh. Horace?
Yes?
You're interested in education, aren't you?
Not at the moment. I'm reading a brief.
But I mean, you are interested in it. After all, you're a member of the school board.
So are you.
Well, yes, but...
Now, let me read this. Court convenes at 9 in the morning.
What I'm driving at, Judge...
What are you driving at? What do you want?
Oh, nothing. I just dropped in. That a new picture you got on the wall there?
Nope.
Oh. Horace, what are you doing tonight?
I am not addressing the Parent Teachers Association, if that's what you've got in mind.
Oh, it never occurred to me, Horace, but what an excellent suggestion.
It was not a suggestion.
You know who they got for the guest of honor now? Oh, this'll kill you. Me. What can I do? Sing a little. When I was a young lad. Who wants to hear that?
Who indeed?
But you, Judge, now you can't sing for sour apples, maybe.
I can at least carry the tune.
We won't go into that. You can't sing, but you can do something much better for the PTA. You can give them food for thought, Horace. You can bring things home to them.
What can I bring home to them?
Why, if...
The time is too short, Gildy. As I told Miss Goodwin, I don't like to decline an invitation of this sort.
Miss Goodwin? Eve asked you before she asked me?
Who do you think suggested you?
Well, that's very flattering, old friend, but I fear you're being too modest. You see who they go to first.
It's not modesty. There's no time. The meeting's tonight. There's no time to prepare anything.
Oh. Say, how about that speech you gave last year, Judge? What was it called? Education in the Law or something? Don't tell me you've forgotten that. Why, I'll never forget it as long as I live.
But, Gildy, I gave that before the PTA.
It was well received, wasn't it?
It was?
It caused comment in the newspaper, didn't it?
Did?
A lot of good, solid stuff in that speech, Horace. Wasn't the kind of thing that could be absorbed in one hearing.
I'll tell you why that speech caused comment, if you'd like to know. Because it dealt with a current problem of vital importance. A proper respect for law, my friend, should be inculcated in the young at the earliest possible age.
True, true.
Should begin in school. In kindergarten, even. It should begin before that, in the home. I'll even go farther and say that it should begin with heredity. But if it's too late for heredity, let's begin where we can. I ask you, how can a child possibly learn respect for the law if at home he sees his parents flaunting it?
Oh, that is so true.
I say to you, my friend, law is the very keystone of our civilization. The very keystone.
Keystone.
The keystone. I say to you...
Don't say it to me, Judge. Say it to the PTA.
Yes. I must take another look at that speech. There are one or two things I might add. Meetings at 8:30, you say?
8:30.
Keystone of our civilization. It's rather a good phrase. I say to you, my friends, law
when I was a young man before my beard was gray.
Of our civilization.
But I'm weary of the sea wind, I'm weary of the foam, and the little stars of Duna call me home. The little stars of Duna call me home.
Well, that's that.
Oh, Throckmorton, let's sing one more. Just one more.
Heck, I could be doing this at the PTA.
Oh, gracious, I certainly don't know what you expected.
Well, gee, after all, you got me to break a date to come here. You said it was going to be something special.
It is. This is an evening I shall always remember, Throckmorton. Always.
Well, all right. Let's make it something to remember.
I think perhaps we could find a more comfortable place than the piano band.
How about over here?
Now, Throckmorton, we're going to have an understanding.
I thought we had one.
If I let you hold my hand, do you promise you won't go any farther?
What do you think?
I'd have to ask you to promise that. That would have to be the understanding.
Leila, what's this all about? Why are you so particular all of a sudden?
Well, I don't know that there's anything so sudden about it. I've always been particular. Oh, but there, I mustn't be put out with you. Not tonight. I know you didn't mean...
What's wrong?
What is that smell? I've been smelling it all evening.
It's me.
Where is it? On your hair?
It's all over. Don't you like it?
Well, I don't know, Throckmorton. I'm not sure. If I could get far enough away to find out.
Well, I'm sorry if I've offended.
Oh, it's nothing like that. It's just a little overpowering is all.
Well, don't blame me. Blame Peavy. He sold it to me. So if you don't like it, the joke's on him.
I didn't say I didn't like it. As a matter of fact, I think in time I could become quite used to it. Do you like the perfume I'm wearing, Throckmorton?
I can't smell it.
Here, I'll put some on my wrists. And behind my ears.
Yum, 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 yum.
Ouch!
Oh, Leila, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know why I did that.
Biting, really.
Something snapped inside me, Leila. My mind just went blank, I guess. It was the perfume. And your little pink ear. Will you forgive me, Leila? Please forgive me.
Well, I guess it wasn't your fault, Throckmorton. You couldn't help yourself.
That's the girl. See, I'll kiss it and make it all better.
Oh, no, you don't. I think we'd better go back to the piano.
Piano? I've sung every song I know, Leila. I've sung till I'm hoarse. Can't we forget?
Oh, you must try to humor me this evening, Throckmorton, because this is a very special evening.
You keep saying that, but I don't see anything so special.
I know. How could we ever forget?
Huh? Tell you the truth, Leila, I'm kind of sick of that song.
Sick of it? How can you say that? Why, that's always been our song.
I know, but can't we get a new one?
There's an old saying, Throckmorton. The old songs are the best. The old songs bring memories.
All evening, nothing but memories.
Remember the first time you ever sang that to me, Throckmorton?
Yep.
That was 4 years ago. You were darling then. Of course, you were a lot younger.
I'm just as young as I ever was.
No, you're not. You've changed.
How?
You don't seem so interested anymore.
I am, too, but ye gods, you got me sitting here with my hands tied.
Oh, it isn't that. You didn't miss me this summer.
Now, that just isn't true, Leila. I did so miss you.
You didn't write to me only once or twice.
Well, I was busy, and I knew you'd be back, so what's the use?
That's just it. You knew I'd be back. If you'd really missed me, you'd have shown a little more interest in where I spent my vacation and who I met while I was down there. You'd have been a little more curious.
I'm as curious as anybody. Where did you go, Leila?
Doesn't matter now. It's too late.
What do you mean, it's too late?
Oh, Throckmorton, I'm afraid I've got to wound you, and I don't want to.
If you're still sore because I bit your ear, you can bite mine. I don't care.
Oh, no. No, it isn't that. Oh, how shall I tell you?
Tell me what? Just tell me.
No, that would be too cruel.
I don't get it.
Wait here, Throckmorton. Wait here.
Hey, where are you going?
Wait.
Hey, chocolates. I shouldn't, but I wonder which is a chewy one. Somebody's been biting into these. Well, I'll take a chance. Oh, all over my tie.
Throckmorton.
Oh, just sampling one of your chocolates here.
Throckmorton, do you notice anything different about me?
Just had a little mishap here, but it'll come off.
Throckmorton, please look at me.
Yeah?
You notice anything different?
No, why?
You're not very observant, I must say. I'll come closer. Now, do you notice anything?
New dress?
No. You've seen this dress hundreds of times. I'll give you a hint. It's jewelry.
The earrings.
Earrings. I always wear earrings. It's on my left hand, stupid.
Oh, where'd you get the ring? Hey, where'd you get the ring?
From someone.
Leila, is that an engagement ring, or did you put it on that finger to remind you of something?
It's on that finger to remind me of someone I met down south. He's a doctor, if you're dying to know, from Virginia.
Leila, you aren't going to marry this fellow.
Uh-huh.
For heaven's sake, why?
Because I love him.
Leila.
There, I've wounded you.
But why didn't you tell me, Leila? What's the idea of waiting till now and then getting me over here?
Because I wanted to be sure first, Throckmorton. I wanted to be sure of myself first.
Well, you might have tipped me off. If I'd had a little time, I might have done something. But no, the first quack that comes along, you let him...
He happens to be a very fine doctor.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too, Throckmorton. Does it mean so very much to you? Poor boy. Have a chocolate.
I couldn't.
Oh, to think I had to do this to you.
When are the services, Leila?
October 9th. The invitations are already in the mail. That's why I had to tell you tonight. His name is Julian Henry Culpepper. He's terribly handsome. He's only 36.
Don't.
I'm sorry. It was terribly romantic the way we met. It was at a dance. Do you know that tune that goes?
Leila. Leila, tell me something.
Yes? What?
Does this fellow sing?
Gracious, no. You should hear him.
Shove over.
Why? What for?
Speak to me of love.
No fair.
And say what I'm longing to hear.
No fair, Throckmorton.
Tender words of love.
The great Gildersleeve will finish his song in just a moment. Just a short while ago, a lady with some definite ideas on the kind of quality she wants in a spread for bread told us she always asks first for Parquet margarine. And I'd say that's good advice at any time, to look first and ask first at your dealers for this Kraft quality spread with the fresh country sweet flavor. Right now, of course, all spreads for bread are scarce. Kraft is actually producing more Parquet margarine than before the war. But the amount of top-quality farm ingredients available at present for Parquet still isn't enough to meet the big demand. However, supplies of Parquet are going to your food dealer regularly, and he'll have some for you from time to time. So remember to look first when you shop for delicious, nourishing Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft.
Speak to me of love and whisper these words to me, dear. I adore you.
You know, Throckmorton,
Yes?
now that it's worn off a little, I think I like that perfume you're wearing.
It's not a perfume, Leila. It's a masculine scent.
Whatever it is, I like it. It does something to me.
It does?
What's it called?
Why,
I want to tell Julian Henry.
wait till I see Peavy. Good night, Julian.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It is written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. The cast includes Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, and Lillian Randolph, who play Leroy, Marjorie, and Bertie. Leila Ransom is Shirley Mitchell. Eve Goodman is played by Bea Benaderet. Judge Hooker is Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand plays Mr. Peavy. The music is by Jack Meeker. Daylight saving time ends on September 28th, so next Wednesday you'll hear The Great Gildersleeve at 8:30 if you live in the Eastern Time Zone, 7:30 if you're on Central Time. 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Incidentally, there's a swell story about Gildersleeve in the October Radio Mirror magazine. This is John Lang speaking for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to be with us again next Wednesday for the further adventures of The Great Gildersleeve.
If you pack lunches for school-going children and hard-working grown-ups, surprise them someday this week with the appetizing cheddar cheese flavor of Pabst-ett. This delicious cheddar cheese food is wonderfully nourishing in sandwiches, and you can cut Pabst-ett into wedges, too, for a tasty flavor treat with red apples for dessert. Your family can enjoy Pabst-ett in two tempting varieties, pimento Pabst-ett in the red package and golden cheddar in the familiar round yellow package. Get both kinds when you shop tomorrow.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet Margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. Now let's see what's been happening to Gildersleeve.
Well, it's plenty. Into the quiet town of Summerfield via the U.S. mail, a bomb has dropped. Everyone who is anyone in Summerfield has received this morning a creamy white envelope, roughly 4 by 6, with a postmark of Savannah, Georgia. No bargain offer, this. Eagerly, we pry open the flap, taking care not to cut our fingers, so fine and crisp the stationery. Inside, a second envelope with our name inscribed upon it, nothing else. We pause a moment to admire the penmanship and dive inside again. A wisp of tissue paper flutters to the floor. We rub our thumb across the engraving. Our eyes focus, and behold.
Mr. and Mrs. Tupper Hathaway request the honor of your presence at the marriage of their niece, Leila Barrington Ransom, to Dr. Julian Henry Culpepper on October 9th, 1946, at 4:30, Church of the Rebellion, Savannah, Georgia.
Yes, the whole town's talking about it. Long before breakfast, the neighbor's cook, Lily B., came hot-footing it across the street and around to the kitchen door with the news. So, though the invitation lies unopened beside Gildersleeve's plate at breakfast, Birdie knows full well what's in it, and she's briefed the children accordingly.
Now, remember what I told you, Leroy. Be nice to him.
I always am.
Well, a little nicer than that. You got to realize, Leroy, this is liable to be kind of hard on your uncle, Mrs. Ransom, getting married like that.
Why? She isn't marrying him.
Well, Leroy, have you no feelings?
Sure.
On second thought, I think I'll just shove the invitation out of sight here under his butter plate.
Shh, here he comes.
Now, just act like nothing happened. Remember now, like nothing happened.
Good morning. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. I said good morning.
Morning, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'll go get your breakfast right away.
Marjorie?
Good morning, Unky.
Leroy, no word of greeting for your uncle?
Hi.
Well. What are you two staring at?
Leroy, will you pass the sugar?
Sugar? Yeah, sure. There you are, Marge. Sugar. Excuse me for not passing it before. I didn't notice you didn't have it.
Oh, that's all right.
Some salt? You got salt there?
Yes, I've had the salt things. I just wanted the sugar for my cocoa.
Marmalade. You want some marmalade?
Oh, I have some. I have plenty. Oh, but thank you just the same.
Well, that's all right. Anything you want, just ask for it.
Extraordinary. No mail come this morning?
There, you want the salt, you say, Marge?
She just had the salt. What's going on here? Bertie, did no mail come this morning?
What'd you say?
I asked if there wasn't any mail this morning.
No, sir, that is hardly any. Just the one thing there.
What thing?
Whatever it is.
Well, where? Where is it?
Under the butter plate.
Under a fine place.
I better run out in the kitchen and see if anything's burning.
What's the matter with her? Savannah, Georgia. I'll have the sugar now, Leroy, if you feel you can spare it.
Aren't you going to open it?
Leroy.
Later. Just a wedding invitation for Mrs. Ransom. How about that sugar? What's the matter with you?
Boy, is Bertie full of baloney.
Well, when did you find out, Unky?
Find out what?
About Mrs. Ransom.
Getting married? Oh, I've known about that for a long time. She told me last night. She said she wanted me to be the first to know.
And you don't mind?
No, that was all over years ago. Leila's a fine girl. I wish her every happiness. But as far as I'm concerned, Bertie, what's keeping you out there?
Mr. Gildersleeve, did you...
Uncle Mort's ready, Bertie. You can take his plate. Oh, and incidentally, he knows all about everything, so you don't need to worry.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Mr. Gildersleeve, it ain't none of my business, of course, but I just want you to know I just want you to know, that's all. See, I made you some nice milk toast this morning.
Milk toast? What for?
Well, I knew you wouldn't probably be feeling so good, and there ain't nothing sits easy on the stomach in time of trouble than milk toast.
I can't stand milk toast, Bertie. What do I want with milk toast anyway? I feel fine. Doorbell.
I'll go.
Let Bertie.
I'll get it.
Yes.
Oh, good morning, Judge. Come in.
I won't stay but a very few minutes, Bertie. Mr. Gildersleeve, I won't stay but a few minutes.
He's right in the dining room there.
Well, hello, Judge.
Gildy, old man.
What are we shaking hands for?
Good morning, Judge. Hi.
Marjorie, Leroy, I wonder if I could have a word with your uncle in private. Just for a moment.
Certainly. We gotta go to school anyway. Come on, Marge.
What's up, Judge?
Gildy, old man, anything I can do, anything at all. You know that, old man. Just call on me.
Call on you for what?
Anything. Are you planning to go to the office today?
Certainly.
Good. Work is the best medicine, they say. I'd offer to drive you down, but I think the walk would do you good.
Yeah.
The important thing is not to let this prey on your mind. I know how you feel, old man. I don't want you to think that
I feel fine.
That's the stuff. Try to keep that up. It's the only way to hold on to yourself. Chin up. Never admit for a minute even to yourself.
Listen, you've got me all wrong, Horace. I feel fine.
Bully for you. Keep telling yourself that.
Oh, listen, you old goat. I feel fine. You understand? I feel fine. I'm fine. Hello, Peavy.
Mr. Gildersleeve. Well, I didn't think we'd be seeing you today.
I don't know why not. I'm in here all the time. I guess I might as well take some cigars as long as I'm here. Peavy, I'd like some cigars.
Mr. Gildersleeve, well, there are some things that are very hard for a man to say, but we'd like you to know, Mrs. Peavy and I, that we'd like you to come to dinner.
Well, that's very nice. I'd be delighted to come.
I'm an older man than you are, Mr. Gildersleeve, and I've had my share of disappointments, too. I'd just like to say that I know how you feel.
What's the matter with everybody? I feel fine. You hear that, Peavy? I feel fine. Good morning, Bessie.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes?
Oh, I don't know what to say, but...
Don't say it. Bessie?
Yes, sir?
What are these?
What, sir?
On my desk here.
They're roses.
Get them out of here. I'm sorry, Bessie, but I can't stand all this sympathy. Ye gods, a man has no private life of his own in this town. You try to wind up something quietly, and the next morning everybody's looking at you. Everybody butting in and telling you they know how you feel. Don't you try to tell me how I feel. I feel fine. I'm very happy about the whole thing.
Yes, sir.
Good. Somebody came in. See who it is.
Yoo-hoo, anybody here?
Leila, now what the...
Good morning, Bessie. Is Mr. Gildersleeve in?
Just a minute. I'll ask him.
Oh, well, don't bother. He'll see me. Throckmorton, you poor darling. How are you?
Fine and dandy, Leila. Never better.
Oh, I'm glad to see you taking it this way. I knew you would. You have so much character. I'm afraid I've come to ask a favor of you, Throckmorton. Oh, terrible.
A favor at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, gracious, I've been up for hours. I'm trying to get everything packed for when I go home for the wedding. And do you know something awful? I can't get half my things into my trunks.
Maybe you'd better just give up the whole idea.
Oh, silly. I wondered if you'd mind too terribly much just expressing a few things for me.
No, of course not.
The only thing is I haven't anything to pack them in. You'd have to get some crates or something. But you wouldn't mind?
No.
It would only take you a couple of evenings, probably. I'll give you a key in case I'm not there myself.
All right, a couple of evenings?
Well, there's quite a lot of it. I think it's terribly generous of you to offer to do it, Throckmorton. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I know Julian Henry will be grateful, too.
Julian Henry.
I think you're just a little bit jealous of Julian Henry.
I wish you every happiness, Leila.
Oh, come on now. Fess up. Aren't you just a little teensy bit jealous?
Nope.
Will you miss me just a little when I'm gone?
I have a very busy winter ahead, Leila. I have lots of plans. Lots of plans.
You poor darling. Well, I've got to go shopping, to do hairdresser, a million things. Oh, I almost forgot.
What?
Hand me my handbag over there, will you? I was cleaning out some old trash this morning, and I came across these.
What?
Well, don't tell me you don't recognize your own handwriting. They're your letters, silly. Love letters.
You've kept them all these years? What for?
Oh, 'cause they were so sweet. But I thought it was only fair to let you have them back now that they don't mean anything anymore. Besides, I wouldn't want Julian Henry finding them, would I?
Wait, don't you want the ribbon?
I'll leave you that to remember me by. Bye now.
Love letters. What a fool I was. Well, I know what to do with them. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I ought to burn those if I remember it correctly. I wouldn't want Bessie. Not that she would. Smell nice. Sachet, I guess. She must have had them among her things. Gosh, that was 4 years ago. Let's see. My dear, darling, beloved Leila. I didn't sleep a wink all last night. All night long I lay awake thinking of you. Once I got up and went to my open window where the moon was shining in. And as I stood there gazing up at it, I thought to myself, that same moon is shining down upon my darling Leila, clear across the vacant lot there. I looked across and I could see your house and your own dear bedroom window. It was open a little. It made me wish that I were a little moonbeam and could steal in and nestle softly on the pillow beside your cheek. Oh, Leila, I love you so. I think if the day ever comes when we're no longer... Confound it! When I got up this morning, I felt perfectly all right.
Can Gildersleeve bear up? We'll find out in a few moments.
Mr. Lang, if it isn't one thing, it's another. Now that more wheat flour is available for baking my favorite rolls and muffins, it seems harder than ever to find a really good spread to serve with them.
Well, of course, all spreads for bread are very scarce right now.
Yes, but the one I mean is parquet margarine. It's been my family's favorite for years. In fact, that's one reason my rolls and muffins taste so good. Parquet adds such delicious flavor. But as I was saying, just try to find parquet in the food stores when you want it.
I know just what you mean. But here's the picture. Try as we may at Kraft, we just can't seem to catch up with the demand for parquet margarine. We're continuing to make as much parquet as available supplies permit. And we're rushing it to your food dealer, flavor fresh and country sweet. Always of the same high quality that has made parquet a favorite spread of millions. So be sure to look first for parquet when you shop. Your dealer will have it for you from time to time, so ask for Parkay, Parkay, Parkay margarine, made by Kraft.
Let's get back to the great Gildersleeve, who is now thoroughly convinced his heart is broken. What to do? He finally decides he'll put on a brave face and seek the consolation of masculine companionship at the Jolly Boys Club. Let's peep into the club now where, though Gildersleeve has not arrived, he is the subject of conversation.
Poor old Gildersleeve. He's been fooling around with that woman for a long time.
4 or 5 years at least. Think of all the dough he must have spent on her.
Floyd, must you be crass?
Crass? What the heck is that? Well, figure it out for yourself. A picture show here, a meal there, mounts up in a few years. Where does it get him? First guy that comes along with a half-a-carat diamond, Gildersleeve gets the pink slip.
Well, it doesn't seem right. How's he taking it? Anybody seen him?
Well, I ain't seen him, but I'll give 8 to 5. Gildersleeve ain't losing any sleep over it. He'll have to make some new arrangements, that's all.
I happen to disagree with you, Floyd. I think he's taking this thing pretty hard. Have you seen him, Peavy?
Yes, I saw him.
Well, what did you think?
I don't think he liked it.
In my opinion, it's a real blow to him. A real blow.
Poor old Gildersleeve. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yes, sir. That's the way it goes.
Yes, sir.
Well, for crying out loud, we don't have to act like a funeral. Let's get a card game going here or something. Come on, Peavy.
Well, I might play for a few minutes just to see how the cards are running.
Last time you said that, you took away $6.50. Hey, I think I hear somebody coming.
Sounds like Gildersleeve. I never thought he'd feel up to this.
Let's be real nice to him. A fellow jolly boy that's had a tough break.
Yeah. Well, jolly boys. Chief Gates, as I live and breathe. Did you catch a lot of crooks today?
How are you, Commissioner?
And Judge Hooker, the old spirit of habeas corpus.
Hi, Gildy.
And Floyd, the tonsorial artist. And Peavy, the merry pharmacist. Greetings, one and all.
Hi, Commissioner.
You seem to be in good spirits, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, why shouldn't I be?
That's what I told him, Commissioner.
Shut up, Floyd.
Why? What's the matter? Mr. Gildersleeve, the boys were telling me you were down in the mouth about your girlfriend dumping you.
I don't care for the way you put it.
I mean about Mrs. Ransom getting married. Anyway, I stuck up for you. I said you'd roll with the punch and come up smiling.
That's right, Floyd. That's me. Often a bridesmaid, but never a bride. But I can take it. What do I care?
That's a spirit.
No, sir. Leila is a fine girl. I wish her every happiness.
I think you're being very generous, Gildy.
Yes, I guess I am.
Fellas, I have a suggestion. Listen, we all know Mrs. Ransom. She's been on a lot of outings at the Jolly Boys Club.
Now, what about it?
I was thinking it'd be a real nice gesture if the club would all chip in and buy her a wedding present. That is, if Mr. Gildersleeve has no objection.
Oh, no. A nice gesture, Chief, as you say.
Then I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
I second it. What do you say, Peavy? Don't you agree this is a proper and friendly gesture for the Jolly Boys to make?
What kind of a present would it be?
We can think about that later. Are you in favor of the idea?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm against it.
Oh, you make me tired.
Now, Judge, let's not be impatient with friend Peavy. He just don't want to buy a pig in a poke, that's all. The way I look at it, Peavy, we should get her something substantial and at the same time reasonably priced.
What did you have in mind?
Well, say we was all to put in $2 apiece. That's $10. Get her let's see. Piece of tapestry makes a nice gift. Yeah, a piece of tapestry to hang on the wall. Then every time she looked at it, she'd think of the Jolly Boys back in Summerfield.
What will her husband think when he looks at it?
Oh, quit worrying, Peavy. Are you with us or not?
Well, I'll go along if the rest will.
That's a boy.
Chief.
What is it, Commissioner? You got a different idea for the gift?
Oh, no. I think the tapestry is fine. Only, well, naturally, in my position, I'll be expected to give her a present myself. Something fairly substantial. So I'm afraid I won't be able to contribute to the club kitty.
Oh. Well, maybe we can get a tapestry for $8. It don't have to cover the entire wall. Okay, Judge?
Yeah.
Okay, Peavy? Okay, Floyd?
No, it ain't okay.
Well,
I don't see why we should buy her a present in the first place.
Well, why not?
Because she done a dirty trick to a fella jolly boy, that's why.
Now, Floyd...
Horace, please. Floyd, I appreciate your sentiment. As I said before, Leila is a fine girl. I wish her every happiness.
Well, that's all well and good, but just the same,
No,
she done you a...
she's found someone she loves. That's all that really matters.
It takes a real man to say a thing like that.
You're so right, Chief.
I mean it, fellas. If Leila can find happiness with this fellow, raise a family, perhaps, I'll not stand in her way.
Say, what about the card game we were starting here? Let's get going.
How about a song?
That's a better idea. A song.
Okay, come on, guys. Get around the piano. How about this one? Oh, the moonlight's fair tonight along the Wabash.
That's good.
Okay.
From the fields there comes a breath of newborn air. Through the sycamores, the candlelights are gleaming on the banks of the Wabash.
Oh, that was great, fellas. Let's have another.
Oh, no, Floyd. Not that.
For heaven's sakes, Floyd.
No, Floyd. Go ahead and play that one. I want to sing it.
Okay, Commissioner.
I wonder who's kissing her now. I wonder who's teaching her now. I wonder who's looking into her eyes, breathing sighs, telling lies. I wonder who's buying the wine for lips that I used to call mine. I wonder if she ever thinks about
Commissioner, get him a Coke, somebody.
Get him a double Coke, baby. Get us all a Coke while you're at it.
Never should have started that song.
I'm sorry, fellas. I didn't mean to.
That's perfectly okay, Commissioner. You're among friends.
Thanks.
And when a fellow gets a blow like you got...
She's a fine girl. I wish her every happiness.
I'd just like to say, Commissioner, I know how it is.
Oh, no, Chief. You're happily married.
Yes, I am, but there was a girl ahead of my wife. I thought I'd never get over it.
Yes.
I'd just as lief you didn't mention it to Hazel.
Oh, of course.
You want to play a little cards, Commissioner?
I don't know, Floyd.
Seeing you feel so lousy, the boys might make a special concession. We'd play bridge just for you. How about it?
Thanks, Floyd. I don't think I could keep my mind on it.
Just let him sit there and drink his Coke.
It's a hard, hard world.
Well, we're just going to sit around like this all night?
Now, Judge, drink your Coke and be quiet a minute. Feeling a little better, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I think the Coke is helping.
I might remind you fellows that Gildersleeve is not the only man around here who feels a sentimental pang at Mrs. Ransom's decision.
Ah, quit trying to horn in on the sympathy.
Well,
Well, let's do something.
Yeah, let's.
Do what?
yeah, what?
I don't know.
Boy, this is a dead town. When's Halloween?
I don't know. October, November.
Boy, we used to have some real fun on Halloween when I was a kid. Kids nowadays don't have the kind of fun we had.
Good thing, too. Halloween's a bad night for the police department.
I remember one trick we used to pull. We'd take and set somebody's garbage pail up on the railing of the porch. Kind of balance it there, see? Then tie a string on it and fasten the string to the doorknob and then ring the doorbell. Garbage all over the place. We didn't do it. The guy done it himself when he opened the door.
That keeps it perfectly legal.
Fellas, let's go out and dump over somebody's garbage pail.
You joking, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, I'm not. That's just what I feel like doing tonight. Come on, Floyd, are you game?
Well, I'm game if the rest are. How about it, Peeve? Come on, it'll take 10 years off of you.
Well, I'd be willing to watch.
Good old Peavy. Whose pail shall we dump over?
How about Judge Hooker? Oh, no, he's here.
I certainly am.
Well, who'll it be?
Fellas, how about Mrs. Ransom?
Commissioner.
Gildy, you really mean it?
Certainly I mean it. After all, look what she did to me.
He's himself again.
And we'll hear from the great Gildersleeve again in just a minute. One of the questions we're asked most often is, when is there going to be more Parquet margarine in the food stores? Frankly, we don't know. But our best guess is that the shortage may extend over a period of several months. That doesn't mean, of course, that there'll be any less Parquet produced. Kraft's modern margarine plants are continuing to make as much Parquet as present supplies permit. And just as quickly as more fine American vegetable oils are made available through government allocation, Kraft will be ready to speed up production. Meanwhile, we're distributing Parquet as fairly as we know how, with your food dealer's splendid cooperation. He'll have Parquet for you from time to time. So be sure to look first when you shop for delicious, flavor-fresh Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that two more fine programs are joining NBC's great Wednesday night lineup this evening. Immediately following this program over most of these stations, you will hear Duffy's Tavern with Ed Gardner as Archie. Then, of course, Mr. District Attorney as usual, and following that, Frank Morgan as the fabulous Dr. Tweedy. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It was written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. The music is by Jack Meekin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley as Leroy, Lillian Randolph as Burley, and Shirley Mitchell as Leila Ransom. Judge Hooker is Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand plays Mr. Peavy. This is John Lang saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to listen in again next Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Do the children in your family like fine cheese? Then you can just bet they'll love Pabst-ett. It's so rich in mellow cheddar cheese flavor, so easy to digest. Pabst-ett is a cheese food that contains nourishing food values of milk, and it's simply delicious on bread or crackers, or melted into a luscious sauce for hot vegetables, eggs, and macaroni. Why not buy both delicious varieties? Pimento Pabst-ett in the red package, and golden cheddar Pabst-ett in the familiar round yellow package. Get Pabst-ett at your food store tomorrow.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.